shining moon, heaven, earth, and sea. I call upon you in this hour, bring magic unto me. Brothers, oh, the cauldron cries, it singeth unto me the songs of Mother Goddess and of Father in the tree.
Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we are off adventuring into the spaces between. Excuse me. We're being broadcast live tonight, of course, on Truth Frequency Radio, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and TalkStream Live, and also in on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Make sure you hit that like button, the thumbs up, subscribe, the alarm, you know the drill. I'm assuming this isn't your first time on YouTube. If not, there's a tutorial. I'm pretty sure YouTube has a video on how to use YouTube. Just saying. And no matter how you are listening, make sure you stop in and say hi in one of the chat rooms. Or you can always send me an email at wildpaisley@gmail.com. That's WILDEPAISLEY@gmail.com. If you want to support my radio habit, please do so. You can do that by doing the cash tag, and that is $, the spaces between, with no spaces, right? And I got it there, and I got it here. Oh, hi, Wanda. Let's see. What else do I have? Oh, you can also check out the website. So, on the website, it's www.paisleywild.com. Some local friends and I got together, and we made some spell jars, which is ironic for considering the show topic tonight. So, this one, Aaron, let me take it out of the package. Just real quick, maybe. That's what I get for putting things in a baggie so I don't lose things. Sigh. So this one is a communication spell jar, and we are calling it Talk With Me. So it's just if you guys can see on YouTube, it's just a little spell jar. It's about 2 inches tall, about 1 inch in diameter, and it's got a variety of things. The spell ingredients are listed on the website, and basically it's this one's to help you with communication. Sometimes you need to listen, and sometimes you need to speak your truth. So in each of the spell jars, there is a little piece of paper that corresponds to the spell jar, of course, and they're written with or handwritten with intentions. And the for communication is listen to hear, and also in there is speak my truth. So if this is for you, it'd be for you to speak your truth, because you know what, sometimes we need a little bit of help communicating. So we've got those, and we have some protection spell jars, which Mini-Me had to make one. She has night terrors sometimes, and so she did one of these so she could hang it over her bed. Spell jars are relatively easy. They're nice and contained. You can charge them with energy in the moonlight or sunlight. So this one is Armor Up, is what we're calling this one. This is a protection spell jar. It's about the same size as the first one. And this one also has an intention written on it. Of course, it's Armor Up. Ingredients are listed on the website, and these are all sealed with wax, and they all have little charms on them. The charms vary. It's just kind of whatever we happen to grab when we're making them. And it just, some of them are bigger, some are smaller. There are wearables. One that I don't have a couple yet on the website, and they're more ampule size, and they're little wearables also. And one will have cascarilla, one will have Himalayan salt, one will have lavender, one will have tourmaline, one will have selenite. Just real basic ones. So this one here, this one's an antidepressant. which, you know what? We need some of that too. This one's called Sunshine in a Bottle. Even though it's not yellow, it is white. It will not work there. And there's an intention of this one is basically embrace the light is the focus of it. We talked about doing grief, or let go of the negativity or something like that. I don't remember exactly. But it just this one was more of a resounding thing than the other wordage. And then last, so these ones are a communication, or not communication, but self-love. Because you know what? Sometimes you gotta just, I've talked about that, self-care, self-love. So this one, here, it's a little wearable, a little bitty buddy, about the size of a die, a single die, snake eye die. And charms again are random. Ooh, I'm trying to get it in. It's not focusing. Sorry, guys. But this one's, we're calling it I Am Love. Basically, sometimes you just gotta accept who you are. And we all carry baggage, sadly, and I've talked about that before. But yeah, we all carry a little bit of baggage, and sometimes just allowing ourselves to exist in our authentic self is hard. I reflect this as well, so it's not just y'all, it's me too. And so yeah, if you have any questions on those, let me know. You can send me an email through the website, or you can email me, wildpaisley@gmail.com. And we've got some other stuff coming up, and it's our local group. We do the Hectic Eclectics public get-together for coffee. And then we're working on forming the coven. Everything got sidetracked with the COVID. So here it is a year later, and we're kind of trying again. But Melody Grove is what we're calling ourselves. It's not really a coven. It's more of a circle, because we want to be all-encompassing. Because we've got an eclectic group of people. So many different paths and traditions. And circles generally go around things. And it seems like when people use the word coven, it excludes other people. So instead of using wordage that might seem exclusive or like exclusive, excluding, like you might exclude someone, we didn't want to do that. So we instead did the circle. So it made sense. And so Melody Grove. Elaine says she doesn't have a little bit of baggage. She needs a bellhop. Well, that's why we have cabana boys and girls, right? That's what they're for. The bellhop, carry the luggage, massage the feet, bring you the I don't know, bring you an extra drink. What did they do? Anyways, yeah, I know we all have a little bit of baggage, and sometimes, remember, it's not our baggage. You don't carry it. And if you need some therapy to help you figure out which is your baggage and which isn't, I get it. Do it. If you think you need it, go ahead and do it anyways. Get an evaluation, because, by golly, it is better to seek the help and not need it than need it and not seek it. There's so much stuff that we just deal with all the time. So if you feel like you're a danger to yourself or others, please reach out to someone. There's the suicide hotline. You send me an email, Facebook message, whatever. And I'll try to connect you with someone else, or I will listen. I might say, I don't know what to tell you, because, yeah, I don't, but without knowing your situation. But I will listen, if nothing else. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to figure out which baggage is yours and which is not. And sometimes we hurt ourselves carrying other people's baggages more than our own baggage, which once you figure it out, you're like, oh, what was I thinking? I didn't need to carry that. Anyways, what else? Oh, phone lines are open. The number to call if you want to do so is 213-233-3998, or if you're across the pond in the UK, it is 44203-393-2871. Yes. As of this moment, I am solo in the studio. Mr. Don is finishing up a show with Mr. Brent on Paranormal Portal. Don has had a variable schedule, so he's been picking up a few Fridays here and there. The adventure continues. Let's see, what else? News. Mother's Day weekend. So yay, Mother's Day weekend. So make sure you reach out to your mums, your grandmums, your stepmums, surrogate mums. Reach out and say hi. Tell them thank you for putting up with your bull crap. And, without them, we wouldn't be here. Now, there's all sorts of baggage there too, but yeah, that's why I said surrogate mom, stepmom, great mom, grandma mom, whatever, not just your mums. Love the folks in your life, the ones that have supported you throughout, and say thank you. You should. See, last weekend was Brent Thomas had a birthday this week, and Judge, happy birthday, Judge. I hope you're having a happy birthday. And then, I think Deb Varner had a birthday. Yes. I'm not going to sing happy birthday because you don't want that. But should you have someone that deserves a birthday shout out, let me know, at least as soon as possible. And I will put you in the calendar and I will say happy birthday. Because why not? Celebrate the years you're here. After a certain point, I don't celebrate my birthday. I celebrate that I have leveled up. I have increased my hit points. However you want to look at it. Because, by golly, yes. All right, so tonight's show, moving on. I think we've got all the housekeeping. Oh, one more. When you have a moment, check out ialife.com. ialife is the official sponsor for Truth Frequency Radio. That's AYALIFE.com. And ialife is a combination of the non-psychoactive parts of the ayahuasca and combined with high-quality CBD. And it's just good for what ails you, helps with your immune system and all that stuff. Now, I say these things, but remember, I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV. I'm a witch. It's an entirely different jacket. And so, yeah, we haven't put ialife in front of an FDA board or anything like that because, you know what? This is Truth Frequency Radio, and we don't need them. So there. Alrighty. So, yes, housekeeping is done. Tonight we're talking about, ironically, making your charms and talismans versus purchasing them. Because, a lot of us are craftier. We like to make things and create things, and part of that creation is part of our path. Excuse me. Kitchen witchery is a big one here. But some of us are not as crafty, not as artistic, and just don't feel like we can do the things, which I get when it comes to making our tools. But, just like anything else, and I've mentioned this before, don't use social media as your benchmark or your litmus test when you're creating your own tools or trying to figure out what tools to use. Because social media often will put certain standards on your tools and the things that you're using in your as you're on your spiritual path that might be true for somebody else's path, or it's what people think. Like the whole myth about you should never buy your own tarot cards. That's a myth. Stop and think about it. If nobody had if I had waited to have somebody buy me a set of tarot cards, it would have been a long time. I love both my sets of tarot. I have the Crow deck and the Sun and Moon deck, and then I got the Oracle deck, the Moonology Oracle deck for Yule this past year. And I love it. I love my Moonology deck. But it was a special gift, and the timing was right for it. if I had been waiting for something like that, that just wouldn't have been okay. Especially for those of us that started off as solitary practitioners. There's a lot of tools and things that we were not given by our elders or the people in our family that were already on this path. So we have to start somewhere. And often it's by investigating what we know and what we're looking for and going from there. So, yes. I'm doing all these things that I created. I want you to buy. Because I have a book too. The book is The Wild Pagan, A to Z. It's just my version of the alphabet, based upon paganism and some other stuff. And yeah, it's kind of fun. I wrote it, illustrated it, I published it under Monarch Mountain Studios. And I learned some things. And I've got some more to do. And I don't know. I think I need to connect with Lucky sometime in this next week because I kind of wrote a song and I need to figure out what kind of music I want to put it to. Do I want it slow and stately? Do I want it playful and cheerful? Or I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Or am I going to have Mini-Me do it? Because you know what? She's 6 and she can do anything. So, anyways, back to the business at hand. This particular article that I'm working off of was written by Brandy Adams, and the link is in the show notes already if you would like to look at it also. And she has 6 reasons why you should make your own charms and talismans. And I'll comment on these as I go through. I'm not reading the entire article to you because, you know what? Y'all are grown-ups, and it's not bedtime stories. That's not what I'm doing here. But you know what? I still thought it'd be interesting. So, Miss Williams really enjoys like buying prefab spells, and so that's what she started off with. Because a lot of them have, previously set intentions and purposes, and just fun. But some things she uses, or for some rituals and such, she uses tools that she's prepared herself. Excuse me. And that's important because, sometimes you need both. A lot of charms, amulets, and talismans that we use are made from physical objects that carry the power of the materials from which they're made or from which they're sourced. And then that power can be increased by, engraving or marking them with symbols or sigils or signs or intentions, that kind of thing. And then if you charge it with an intent, it activates the charm, if you will, or the talisman. And you can buy prefab things. They're all over the place. Amazon and Walmart have spell jars if you go shopping online. Who would have thought that was going to happen? I don't know. I think it's interesting. Am I going to buy a spell jar from Walmart? No. Will I buy some ingredients there? Yes. Yes, I will. Because why not? You can get ribbons and jars and all sorts of stuff. Very budget friendly. Even though I don't like buying at Walmart because it feels like I'm feeding the beast. But, and beast as in monster, not beast as in, 666. Because that's a different thing entirely. But, a lot of those ready-made products do need a little bit of energy and such to imbue them and to kickstart them. Turn the switch on, if you will. Start the engine, however you want to look at empowering a spell or jar. But, there's other things that, it's just easier to make yourself. So, as far as magic goes, here's some reasons to make your own charms. Ms. Williams she calls herself a magical magpie. I've mentioned this myself. I'm a little bit of a magpie. If it's shiny or sparkles, yes. I want it. If it makes noise, I want it. If it's quirky or funny or funky or interesting, I want it. Oddly, if it has a paisley print, I really want it. So I know I'm weird. I get it. A friend of mine just gave me some beads that glow in the dark. I'm so excited. I can't wait to use them. Wouldn't that be fun on a dream catcher? Yeah, because I'm a dork. I get it. So, anyways, when you're able to do or feel that you can make your own crafts and or tools, now remember, often it is not so much the craftsmanship or the beauty or the workmanship or the quality of the finished product that is the important thing. It's the intent that you put into it, and it's the purpose of what you're using it for, and it's the stuff that you made it out of. So even if you are not a master craftsman, and honestly, most of us aren't. I've seen those Pinterest fails. But anyways, most of us are not master craftsmen when it comes to creating things. Whether it's a dream catcher or a wand or simple cross stitch or, drawing stick figures. Whatever it is that is going to do the best for you when it comes to tools, that's what you should use. So, as Miss Williams, yep, magical magpie. So when I am out walking, either with Mini-Me or with Kimber, the boxer, who's probably sleeping on my pillow right now because she's a stinker that way, or with friends or whatever, I like carrying something with me to put the things I see in my bag. If it's depending on where I'm at, sometimes it's a basket, sometimes it is a bag. Worst case scenario, I keep a couple grocery bags, used grocery bags with me. That way, I always have a garbage bag to put stuff in. Or if Kimber's with me, I've got some place to put the doggy bombs because no one wants to leave those around. I don't want your doggy bomb. I'm not going to leave my doggy bomb. It's just not happening. Or if I have the opportunity, I'm going to collect stuff. Things that you might want to pick up. And you need to check your local zoning and regulations because I don't want you to break the law. Because I know in some places you do have to have permits, and some things it is illegal to pick up, like some feathers from certain protected birds, or if you're planning on transporting them into a different county. Sometimes there's prohibitions against that because there is potential for some sort of invasive disease or bug that you don't want to carry across county lines into a different non-quarantined area. So yes, be practical, be logical, and protect your environment. So things you might want to pick up though would be like shells, not just seashells or something like that, but also eggshells. I picked up a robin's eggshell, and it's really cute. It's a little bitty teeny tiny. This is really cute. Stones with holes in them, like hag stones. Those are kind of a big deal. Acorns. Yeah, I do pick up acorns. Pine cones. Walnuts, depending on where you're at. If I was still in the Midwest, I would absolutely pick up hedge apples. Because, well, supposedly they're really good against spiders. I remember this, but I don't know if they are. And, other things like that are just interesting to me. Or moss. Sometimes moss sticks out, or a friend of mine and I went to our local driftwood yard last fall, and we got a whole bunch of driftwood sticks, and they've been incorporated into some dreamcatcher type wall hangings, and some other craft things that are ongoing. And at the same time, I scored a bunch of bones, leg bones and rib bones and such. So yes, very, very cool. But, being able to keep your eye out for that kind of thing. And if you do have a bag with you that you can stick that kind of thing in, that's good. That way you're not, filling your pockets with randomness, can happen. So anyways, I'm going to stop right there before I move forward because, hey, guess what? It's bottom of the hour. It's break time already. Isn't that crazy? I don't know. For some reason, this first half hour just flies by. When we come back from break, we're going to keep going on, things you can make. We'll see you in a bit. Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we are off adventuring into the spaces between. Tonight we are talking about tools. Is it better to make them or buy them? And Mr. Don's in the house.
Is it what? Tools. Oh,
Tools.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was only partially awake.
I'm drinking the coffee.
That's wonderful. You have new lighting behind you today.
No? I just remembered to plug it in.
Wow, I have a lot of light.
Yes, you do. I got to noticing the other day when you and Brent were doing a show that you guys had more light going on. You could just really see you guys so much better. And
I hate it.
it's because you're the Gretchy Longbeard. And, but it's, I don't know. I kind of like being able to see.
But the name of the show is Paranormal Portal, not Let's All See Dawn's Grayness.
So why can't you see paranormal stuff in the daylight?
Who says you can't?
That's my point.
Most of it's related to stepping out on balconies at night and having a cigarette at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I noticed that.
Oh, well.
I know, right? Well, Kimber likes to go outside about 3 o'clock in the morning.
I hate this camera. It's never in the right spot.
I'm blaming it on the cat. Because she walks through there so often. But yeah, Kimber likes to go out at 3 o'clock in the morning. She goes out by the elder tree and then barks.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, would you shush? Quit barking at the neighbors.
Yeah, stop yelling at the neighbors. The neighbors, deer, turkey, bear, that kind of thing.
Moose, elk, raccoons.
Oh, this dang thing. I haven't seen a raccoon out here.
I'm really glad we haven't. Because
we talked about raccoons a little bit today on
did
the
you?
show. Yeah.
Actually, they're fun pets.
Yeah, well, Brent doesn't think so.
I grew up with them. They're awesome.
I told him that. He told a story about a raccoon putting his hands in a fresh piping hot cup of coffee.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
That would not be good.
Apparently it was funny as hell.
Well, no, poor thing. Actually, no, I'm really glad that there is not a raccoon near here because raccoons tend to really, really, really...
Trash pandas!
Like chicken.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
They love them some chicken.
True. Oh, this is just not...
You're not happy.
I'm just not happy with this tonight.
You know what? I'm pretty sure you can fix it tomorrow. If you really got the urge.
Yeah, I don't want to sit down and adjust cameras all day.
Okay, then...
I do have to do podcasts tomorrow.
Touching.
I can't. It's bothering me.
So Don's suffering from a bad case of CDO.
Yep.
And he needs to have a bowl of ice cream. Hi, MCAT.
Everybody's saying hi. Hi, everyone. Justin, Lucky, MCAT, how are you? Let's see. Is Mary here? Nope, Mary's not. I don't see Mary, but I see Elaine. Hi, Elaine.
Mm-hmm.
And
also,
Elaine. What?
Psycho Dave, Flash.
Oh, yes.
All
All those in TFR.
Yep. I am 432 hertz.
Nice.
Well, yeah, that's a new one. Hi. Yeah, Trash Pandas. Oh, I'm sorry, Justin.
Raccoons make great caps.
Well, yeah, they do, actually. But they're fun. But, so, Justin, what you need is one as a pet. And you teach it to be loyal to you, and then you sick it on the wild ones.
Get 'em.
Because if you have one and you feed it right, it'll be like 5 times the size of a wild one.
That's true. Good point.
Mm-hmm.
Feed them corn like a Midwesterner.
Why would you feed them corn? They eat everything. They love crawfish.
We
Fish.
unfortunately don't have any around here.
True. But they will eat anything.
True.
Actually, raccoons, give them cotton candy.
Oh,
A bowl of water.
Watch it disappear. Hey, where'd it go?
That is flippin' hilarious.
Because they're always washing their hands, and they're always washing their food.
Yep.
It's like wash. Where the hell did they go?
We often had kittens and new raccoons at about the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing funnier than a raccoon trying to, touch all the kittens while they're trying to drink out of a bowl. Yeah, drowned cat. Yes. Anyways, yeah, raccoons, they're fun. Or a possum. Possums are good.
Yeah.
possums eat ticks.
That's true. That is true. Anyhow, what are you talking about?
Tools.
Tools.
Yep.
Tools.
Raccoons are tools.
Yeah. I bet you raccoon knuckles would be kind of cool.
Tiny.
Yeah, which
You
point?
gonna put it through your nose?
Oh, jeez. What the hell is wrong with you?
I'm drinking coffee at 9 o'clock at night.
Oh, Elaine's pup treated a raccoon
Nice.
earlier. Nice, yeah.
We used to have a dog that would tree porcupines all the time. It was a hound. Here, do you want a pendulum to find out where you need to put it?
Put it in the garbage here in a minute.
Swiper, no swipey. Oh, man.
No. That's MCAT, yep. Oh.
So, anyway, walking in the woods, walking on the beach, walking along, hiking in the mountains, you're going to come across things that jump out at you that say, hey, I need to go home with you.
Like a Sasquatch?
If you can put a Sasquatch in your fanny pack, you go right ahead and do that.
Oh, you're only allowed a fanny pack?
My
butt doesn't need to look any bigger.
I would just pull the fanny pack.
Sorry.
No, they have wild crafting bags you can buy that are like satchel type, but they often will strap to your leg too, so that you
like mole bags.
Yeah, but not because no. Anyways, it's more of a pouch than a bag. It's not quite as durable as a molly bag, I suppose, but yeah, you can put all sorts of fun things in there. And why not? Because like here in the Pacific Northwest, there is a potential you can come across naturally shed antlers.
That's true.
Or fungus. There's like the occasional shroom that you might come across.
True.
When the weather is appropriate.
True.
That you might want to take home. Now, some people like the conch type, and they dry them, and then they engrave on them or paint on them.
Wonderful.
Yeah, they do.
That's some fun, Gus.
Mm-hmm. Dawn needs chocolate and ice cream. Anyways. So, often the things that stand out to you when you're out doing your hikes or your walks or what have you are things you might need to integrate into your home. And remember, for those of you who are in the Pagan pantry, the broom closet, whatever you want to call it, if you're out hiking and you see a shiny rock and you bring it home because it means something to you, maybe you just saw a deer or an elk, or you had an experience that was just pretty freaking fantastic and you want to remember it, you can bring that rock home and nobody knows why it's there other than you found a pretty rock.
You know what's even better? Just take a freaking picture of it so it doesn't clutter up my damn house.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
Pictures, they'll last forever.
Mm-hmm. Until the hard drive gets
exactly.
burnt.
Exactly.
Anyways, so yeah, the different things that stand out. Rowan berries, you can string them on a thread. They're that's an old protective type of charm. Rowan trees are kind of a big deal if you're working with the fae.
So do they carry swords?
The rowan trees?
Yeah.
Why would a tree carry a sword?
Because a rowan is a houseless samurai.
We're not talking about samurai. We're talking about trees.
Okay.
If a tree comes at you with a sword, I sure as heck hope you get a picture of it.
I'm Groot!
I am Groot.
Whoa, watch your mouth. Hey. Sorry. That was just funny.
That was
okay, sorry.
funny. But you can also find, depending on where you're at, you can also find all sorts of semi-precious stones. Here where we're at, you can find quartz pretty much everywhere. Agate.
Thank you, Elaine.
You can also find, depending on where you're at, you can find gold or silver, or you can also find amethyst.
Mm-hmm.
And mica. Mica is an interesting thing if you can find it.
Sure.
I don't see it as much up here as I did in about 100 miles south in the St. Joe River Valley.
Well, Spokane,
Mhm.
we have the mica flats
hmm
because they're flat micas.
The mountain I grew up on, we had about an inch of Mount St. Helens ash directly underneath the.
Is that it?
Well,
You're lucky.
It's a random mountaintop in North Idaho.
Oh, I only had like 6 or 10 inches when I was a kid
And where were you living?
in that area.
Okay, we're a few hundred miles away. A lot of it settled out. But you can also sometimes find mollusks or shells, or you can find bones and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, things that jump out at you, say, pick me up, bring me home, make sure it's good. Don't. Okay, I know some people pick up roadkill and bring it home. Actually, I'm one of those people. I did.
I know.
And
I'm well aware.
I didn't make you eat it.
Like, what the hell does that smell? Is there a squatch around here? Oh, it's a possum. Oh, look, there's another turkey. Who the hell keeps hitting the turkeys?
I don't know. They're stupid, though. All right, so another reason to make your own tools instead of buying them is, well, if you need it and you don't have it and you have the skill set to make the things, well, you know what? It's a good thing to make them. Because some charms you need for like ongoing purposes, like health or prosperity or gifts of some sort. And so if you need a charm or a talisman at a moment's notice and you've got the stuff, you can make it. Or if you're not at home, say you are traveling and you come across something that's really no, Bitcoin doesn't really show up out in the wilds of North Idaho.
I can find it.
On the ground?
Well,
in the ether, yes.
As long as I have my phone and internet connection, I can find it anywhere I go.
But is it on the ground?
Oh, buy Ethereum, by the way.
Yeah,
buy
no.
Ethereum.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Anyways, we're not financial advisors. It's not that kind of show. Anyways,
It's doubled in the last month.
I know. Do you have any?
Do I?
Yeah.
None of your business.
What's for Mother's Day?
What? What's that?
Mother's Day?
Mother's Day?
Yeah.
It's the day I'm working.
And?
Anyhow.
So, say you're out traveling, you go to a hotel room, or stay at a hotel. Now, if you've ever been to a hotel and you didn't sleep very good, it could be because the previous occupant or occupants have left something behind that is not traced by DNA. Instead, it's more... hotel rooms are horrible.
Yes, they are.
Horrible. So make sure you're staying at a reputable one. But sometimes, yeah, they left behind emotions. Hotel rooms are often full of emotion, angst, anger, sometimes death. I mean, any hotel that has been open for any length of time has had a dead body.
Mm-hmm.
It just happens. And that was pre-COVID. That's just a fact of life, basically. So you could write sigils. Like if you have a dry erase marker with you, you could write sigils, protective sigils, or cleansing sigils on the mirrors or on the windows. You can write all sorts of protective sigils or stuff on paper and hang them on the door or the entryways or anything like that. So just things that you can do to help protect you. If you stay in for any length of time, you can ask housekeeping to stay away. But they do have to go in every so often to make sure you at least are not, burning the place down.
Every 3 days.
Okay. You're not cooking anything in the kitchen. But if that happens, you can just renew all those protective charms, especially if you have the skill set and the know-how. I tend to walk around with a couple of rocks in my pocket at any given time. If I'm not wearing them. And so those things you can use for, impromptu castings to protect your space and your sanity and help you to sleep. having a help me sleep charm in your overnight bag is not necessarily a bad thing, especially if you have a hard time sleeping when you're away from home, or anti-anxiety if you have to fly. Just be careful with your carry-ons. Now, with the spell jars, a lot of times I see people put liquids in them. Be really cautious with that if you're doing a carry-on spell charm, because often if you add liquids of any kind to dry ingredients, they mix together and they get icky. And it's not necessarily a sign that your spell isn't working. It just means that you probably shouldn't have put the liquids in with your dry ingredients. If you do orange peel and moon water, at some point there will be a chemical reaction in there. Just because it's a chemical reaction, that's what happens. Just like magic. And Elaine, I love camping. I just don't do it often.
Mm-hmm.
And the ground is just not as comfortable to sleep on these days.
I prefer glamping.
Are you glampa? I read the best article today. It's this guy. He's a engineer in England, and he's paid very, very well. But he decided, you know what? He likes stilettos and skirts, and so he wears stilettos and skirts to work every day. He is probably about 10 years older than you are, and he's got some fabulous legs. But he wears these just really cute skirts and dresses, and with his, I don't know. So if that's a glampa, I suppose you can be a glampa.
No, that's quite all right.
His beard is as long as yours.
That's nice.
It goes quite well with his crinolines. Seriously, it was a cute little skirt. Actually, it wasn't little. It went down to about calf length. Yeah. So yeah, if you have the skill set to make your tools, you can make them where you need them. Even if it's you bought a new suitcase and you want to make sure it gets home, you can write some charms on the inside of it. So yeah, some sigils. Another really awesome reason to make your own stuff is, well, you can put your own energy into them. So I have heard people say, oh, well, I didn't buy the Ouija board. I didn't want to go to that extreme, and so I just made one myself. And
which is even...
Okay, and there's like, that way it doesn't hurt anything or doesn't bother. It's like bang my head on, a hard surface. It's ridiculous because it is directly connected to you. If you are creating a thing, you are putting your energy into it, and you are creating a connection between yourself and the thing, whatever it is. So if you make your own Ouija board, it's actually worse than if you bought one that's commercially produced.
It's more better powered.
Yeah. So don't buy the Ouija board. Don't make one. Just saying. But yeah, if you want to do an amulet for your own protection, one that's going to be more in tune with you and your own energy, make it yourself. If you have problems with, drawing out sigils or charms or runes or something like that, well, we have this thing. It's really awesome. It's called the internet, and you can generally print off all of these color pages that, even though if you're not that artsy craftsy and can't draw something yourself, you can print it off and you can color it, and you can put your own intention into it when you color it. So bedazzle it, whatever it works. So yeah, you're basically putting your energy into it.
Oh my good gosh. Oh.
Elaine says
she just entered that into my databanks.
So Dawn's going to be sporting a miniskirt and heels one of these days. Is that
Nope.
what this is?
Nope.
Are they
Nope.
platforms?
Nope.
Are they gladiator style?
Nope. No. Okay. Cutting that off right now.
But a lot of the designs for like a Celtic cross or any of the Celtic knotwork, mandalas or they even have color your own tarot decks. There's all sorts of things out there. You can
get mismatched tarot decks now too.
Okay, that would trip so many triggers for me. That's like fingernails on chalkboard just thinking about it. Ah, no. If you are into chaos magic, though, that's probably going to be your jam. Maybe. But anyways, yes, you can color things. You can make them your own. You can. I'm just. I cringe. I'm just thinking about mismatched decks. It's like mismatched silverware at a restaurant.
Oh God.
Oh man.
We go to every time we go to the hotel.
I know.
It's just like plates don't match, cups don't match.
I know.
It's an awesome place to go.
They all work together because the food matches everything.
That's true.
It's very good food.
Very rustic.
So next on my list here is you can incorporate special objects. So if you have a bead or a pendant or something that means a lot to you, or maybe a stone that you picked up from your travels, or maybe a piece of jewelry that's been passed down from your ancestors and such, you can incorporate those into your own amulets as you're making things, whether it's doing cording or not magic, or putting something into a bracelet or a charm to wear, or you need something under your pillow to help you sleep at night. Whatever it is, a lot of those things that have that connection to you already, if you can incorporate it into your tools and your magic work, that's awesome. Especially like, Great Aunt Sally gave you this brooch and that's the only thing you got. And most people think, oh, that's hideous heck. But it's like, ooh, it's got emeralds and it's got, rose quartz and it's got, all these different things in it. You're like, yes, it matches my...
I smell like my Great Aunt Tilly.
Yes, your Great Aunt Tilly. Ron. But whatever, it could be your touchstone for your practice. Is oh, hey, it's pretty. I'm not ever going to wear it. It's in a frame. And you could say, hey, that represents my altar or whatever. So if you're in the pagan pantry or the room closet, nobody knows that you're honoring your ancestors with Great Aunt Tilly's ugly brooch. But you could be. It's just sometimes when it comes to not putting our practice and our path out for public consumption and commentary, we need to conceal it and camouflage it just a little bit. And that is one way to do it. The next on my list here, you can be as creative as you want if you're going to make your own charms and such. A lot of folks who are in the habit of working with magic love to make things. They don't always succeed. I get it. They don't always, look like they're Pinterest worthy, but that's okay, because it's the intent behind it. You could create a mojo bag. Now, a mojo bag is different from a juju bag. I've heard mojo and juju used interchangeably, and they're not. Define juju. So, juju, interesting. Okay, according to Oxford Dictionary, it's a style of music popular among the Yoruba in Nigeria and characterized by the use of guitars and drums.
What kind of music?
It's a type of music.
Okay.
Anyways, juju is also considered a spiritual or belief system incorporating objects such as amulets used in religious practice in West Africa, especially the people of Nigeria and Cameroon. Often the term is applied to traditional African religions. I've also heard it used as negative energy. So, juju could also be considered a fetish or charm or amulet. And juju could be a positive or negative vibration or energy. Good juju is the happy feelings. Bad juju is more destructive. It's not Mojo Jojo. It's a different cartoon. Mojo, though, is a magic charm, talisman, or just straight up magic power. also an African American folk belief, generally associated with hoodoo. Mojo is an amulet, kind of like a prayer in a bag. So there's like a spell jar, but in a bag. There we go. So yeah, mojo bag or sachet bag, that kind of thing. Oh, guess what? It's break time already.
Wow.
Yep. You're funny, Justin. We'll be right back. Oh, where's the thing? Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we are off adventuring into the spaces between, talking about crafting your own tools and magic tools and such. Speaking of, Not one that I've crafted, but it's singing bowl time. So I've got a singing bowl. Very cool. So in the chat room, Elaine says that she has Sodo Mojo.
I have no idea what she means.
I googled it. It has to do with the Seattle Mariners,
Oh.
according to the U.S.
Whatever.
But I'm guessing that that's just the Americanized version is, unless, yeah, no, I don't know.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And the awesomeness of the internet. Sometimes the internet really gets things right, and other times, like, wow, that escalated quickly. All right, reasons to make your own tools. Talking about creativity. Make your own mojo bag. Moon water. Moon water's a big deal. Blessing water. You can even drink it.
Apparently so.
Mm-hmm. Other talisman type things. Justin says you make your own metric wrenches out of gold.
I'll have to. I don't know what he means.
Okay. So, also, depending upon what kind of tradition you're following.
Oh, south of downtown. Gotcha. Right.
Sodo, south of downtown.
The field is south of downtown.
Okay.
I forgot what the name is. CenturyLink?
Yeah. That's the name of the field.
Yes.
Okay. So, anyways, regardless, or depending on what your tradition is or your path you're following, sometimes the things you create will have more to do with your path. So if you are more into animalism, maybe you're going to use clay and create some sort of animal-type creature, or you can carve one. Don't look at me in that tone of voice. I know exactly where your brain went.
I didn't say anything.
I know. You were thinking very loud. Or if you were doing rituals that had foundation in Greek or Greek mythology, well, maybe you'd be using some sort of Greek statuettes or maybe Greek lettering, that kind of thing. So, or if you're doing more Egyptian type, maybe you'd make your own papyrus type stuff. It could happen. So, depending on what it is, some of those different tools are more specific to your tradition. And last on the list here is you can make exactly what you want. I mean, how often do we go shopping for a thing? And we have this mental image or this is what we want to accomplish and this is what we want to buy. And we go out there and we go to buy it and we shop and we shop and we shop for this one particular thing and we get very frustrated because the bloody thing ain't around. Or you found it, but it's in the wrong color, the wrong size, the wrong whatever. It's close, but no. Well, you can just make it yourself. For instance, like for a lot of hand fastings, people want to use cords for the hand fasting that correspond with their wedding colors. And there's a wide variety of wedding colors out there that get used with odd names. And often you can't just order a hand fasting cord with periwinkle and aventurine colored ropes. It just no. So you may have to dye them yourselves, or you find one that's close and you find another one that's close and you wind them together and you make your own. That way it's a hand fasting cord for your ceremony specifically rather than a mass produced one, which I totally get, and it would have more meaning to you, more a stronger symbology or stronger connection to your relationship. My kid sister, when she got married, she and her husband were trying to figure out, they wanted, what unique thing could they bring to their vows in their ceremony. And there's a Celtic tradition where if the two people getting married hold a rock when they're saying their vows, they're speaking their vows, and they're basically setting their vows in stone. The unbreakable bond, or that unbreakable contract, if you will. And because they're both avid outdoorsy army types, one of their hikes that they had gone on, they'd found this really awesome rock, and they had their initials and their wedding date engraved upon the rock, and that's what they used at their ceremony, and it sits with their wedding picture. It looks really cool. It's awesome. So that's a thing that they picked up on their own travels. They're not pagan, but it's a pagan practice that they picked up and used. So
a pagan practice they picked up and used.
Yep. Say it 10 times real fast.
Pagan practice they picked up and used. A pagan practice they picked up and used.
How many pecks of pickled peppers are you dealing with over there?
That depends on how many Peter Piper picks.
So, anyways, there's different ways you can integrate the things around you, or the things you come across, into your path, into your practice, and your magic works. Just because you've made them, they have your energy in them. They are tuned to you. Now, if you do purchase something that's prefab, you still want to kind of tune it to you. So maybe you add something that is a part of you to the thing. Say you bought incense burning tray. So you get a fancy marker or something, you draw a picture on the back side of it, or your name, or the intent, or the deity who you want to receive the offering of the incense. You write something on the back of it. You make it your own. You add your own energy to the tool. Excuse me. With spell jars that we did, those you can just pretty much hold in your hands and focus the intent and put them where you need to. We were pretty specific when we were cleansing them and creating them, to keep the energy with them focused but neutral, so they're not tied to anyone, but the energy is good. Just so you know, there won't be any cursing amulets or charms out there on the website, just because there's a time and a place for everything. My website isn't always the time or the place. So those things are in the storefront. If you want something custom, let me know. We do have an order for a witch jar. It's a protection charm, or witch ball. And it's basically, a globe, and it's got a spell, a contained spell in it. Those are the bigger ones like that. They're about the size of a softball. Those are generally for a property type of protection spell or something. And something that big, yes, absolutely. So, yeah, either as far as the blessings, though, let me know. Send me the email so we can do the magic and have the fun and do the thing. So, yeah. But there's all sorts of reasons to make them yourself. Now, there are also reasons to not make them yourself. Like, you just don't have time. I get it. We don't all have time. That's just because life is just really life. Some people are physically unable to craft, and that would be a reason to purchase. I don't have the patience to color my own tarot deck at this point in my life. That could change, but you never know. So yeah, but like the brooms I've got behind Dawn, you can't really see them. One was created from a stick. One was modified from an actual broom. So there's a couple different ways you can go about doing that, and for my own personal besom or broom for ritualistic purposes, make it your own. Do your own thing. Add your flair to it. I'm not saying bedazzle it or sprinkle it with glitter, but have the stuff there. The other article I wanted to talk about is just what are some of the tools you can make, because they're easy. And really truly they are. well, for me, but then I craft a lot. You can always channel your inner toddler to make things, and if a toddler can do it, so can you. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a work of art. It's more intrinsic than it is value, if that makes sense. It's got intrinsic value rather than monetary. So on the list here, the first one right off the bat is a wand. Do you need a wand? That depends on you. Do you want one? Well, if you want a wand, get a wand. Can anything be a wand? Sure, I could use my mallet as a wand. I could use it as a little bitty billy club too. But whatever. If you decide you need a wand, that's absolutely something you can create on your own. You can go to your local hardware store and get a dowel and cut it to whatever length that you want. You could also pick up a stick. I live in an area where we have a few sticks laying around all the time.
No.
And if I didn't have a stick laying around, just wait a minute. Kimber, the idiot boxer, will bring me a 6-foot one. And then she'll chew on it and leave all sorts of debris all over the yard. So, could I use that? Yeah, sure. So, does it have to be straight? No, it doesn't have to be straight. Does it have to be smooth? No, it doesn't have to be smooth. You're going to want to work with it a little bit, because if you're going to use it as a tool, you don't want it to scratch you or leave splinters or debris or whatever. But it should be, no longer than the bend of your elbow to your palm. It doesn't need to be very big. It can be small. And you can decorate it, you can paint it, you can put beads on it, wire wrap it, get some leather, feathers. Justin says don't use a mallet on your wand. Yeah, that might hurt. Don't do that. Yeah, decorate it. Do whatever it is you want to make it your own. It could just be a stick. You have an odd expression on your face.
I'm trying to not break into song.
You do have that problem, don't you?
Yeah.
You just have this inner music fiend trying to break through all the time.
True.
Maybe you need a show where you can just DJ all the time.
I'll give a free sticker to anybody who can think of the song that just went right through my head. Oh, goodness. That kill me. Anyhow.
You're not going to share, are you?
No. I just said I was going to give a sticker to anybody who could think of the song that went through my head.
Okay, fine. So, number 2 on my list here is the Wheel of the Year. So, there are all sorts of graphics out there. You can purchase a Wheel of the Year. I think I have a notebook on the website that you can buy with Wheel of the Year on it. You can buy a tapestry. You can do whatever you want. Or you can make one. I mean, it's a circle on a piece of paper. And you draw some spokes on it to make a pie. And you label the different pie pieces. So you can use colors, you can use crayons, let your kiddos use some finger paint, whatever works. Is it a Jethro Tull song?
What? No, it's not a Jethro Tull song.
Okay.
No.
I never know because...
I have to go back and remember the name of the song.
Okay. But yeah, the Wheel of the Year, let it, personalize it. If there's something that sticks out that means more to you for that particular holiday, add it to your wheel. Maybe it's a color, maybe it's a element, maybe it's a flower, I don't know. You could decoupage whatever you want on there. Make it your own. Dream catchers are kind of a big deal. Generally, the Ojibwe are the ones who are considered to have started the dream catcher tradition. Now, that's complicated. So I don't generally call them dream catchers if I make them. I call them wall hangings. They are very similar to dream catchers. They have a similar intent, but I am not Ojibwe, so I don't call them dream catchers. But as a witch or a practitioner, yeah, I can make something to catch dreams. whether bad dreams, good dreams. Yes, anybody can do that. Calling them a dream catcher is pretty specific to the Ojibwe, though. Some people use doilies instead of a hoop. Some people can't crochet, so they buy a doily and they put instead of a hoop. Oh, Don's gonna go get an illustration that is not crocheted. But yeah, you don't have to make them expensive and extravagant. You can just really truly use some. Go to the thrift store, get a hoop, or the dollar store. Get a doily, some ribbons, and lo and behold, you have a type of dream catcher. So if you are on YouTube and you can see Dawn, you can see a dream catcher that is not a doily.
That is not a doily.
Nope.
Can they actually see it?
Yeah. Actually, I wish there was a solid surface behind you, but the door. Ooh, the chair kind of. So this is about, what is that? About 14 inches across? 16?
Yeah.
Okay, so the main circle is 16 inches across. The smaller circle is about 10. The stick that looks kind of snake-like is actually a stick that was collected from the driftwood.
Boneyard.
Boneyard is what we call it. The feathers are either from our chickens or one of those turkeys that decided to play chicken with the car. Hand macrame, glass beads, wooden beads. Does that one have bones in it or not? I don't think it does.
I don't think it does either.
But it's all wildcrafted. It's ethically sourced. Hemp, string, and some of the pieces are upcycled, and some of them are just collected and used. And so stuff like that will be on the website as well. Prices TBD, just because they're fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. Point is make your own. If you can tie a knot, you can make a dream catcher. There are scads and scads of YouTube videos out there on how to make them. And, it's kind of fun. If you have kids, making a dream catcher is kind of a really fun kid craft, too. Because kids can really just, get into it. They like tying knots. Trust me, children enjoy tying knots and leaving strings strung out all over the place. Almost more than they like scattering glitter. Just so you know. Next on my list is here a staff. You can have a walking staff. There's one behind Dawn. There's actually two behind Dawn. Dawn doesn't have to reach. One's more natural, or they're both just natural pieces of wood. One is going to stay exactly as it is. It's kind of a crooked stick. I think it was a pine tree.
There was a crooked man who walked a crooked mile.
And the other one is a piece of elder wood that I've been slowly working on. Do you have to have a walking staff? No. But I'm not as spry as I used to be. I like walking with a walking staff. They were actually both picked up because I was out walking and I needed a walking staff. Leave a thank you if you gather it from a tree or something. These are both, one was deadfall, one was trimmed by somebody else, I don't know. And just you personalize it. You can carve on it, you can draw on it, you can paint it, you can embellish it however you so choose. You don't have to be Merlin or, Gandalf with it, but you can, make it your own. Cloaks and capes are often part of formal ceremonial wear when it comes to doing magic or rituals. Witches, druids, that kind of thing. Often having the formal attire that you can put on prior to a ritual helps with the thought pattern as you're getting ready to do the ritual. It helps you to change your thought process to, hey, we're having a good time and everybody's going to have a barbecue, to, all right, we're going to focus our intent and we're going to do the magic. Often cloaks and capes have a hood, and the reason for the hood is to protect the crown chakra, partially, and also to protect one's identity, because in many times in the past, well, you really couldn't. People didn't feel safe letting their identity be known, and so they would have a cape or something with a nice hood. Now, if you are able of sewing, whether by hand or with a machine, you can absolutely make your own. I've been working on one for a little bit. If you don't like sewing, there is the double-sided iron-on adhesive, so you can technically iron it together. Just want to be careful if you wash it. You don't want to throw it in the dryer. You want to let it drip dry so you don't lose your... Yeah. You lose your seal and your connection there. But yeah, cloak and cape, absolutely, especially if you are a priest or priestess. That way, if you are performing a ceremony like a hand fasting or christening, you look like you're properly attired. Dawn's just tired, not attired. Next on the list is you can make incense.
I is a tired Dawn.
Oh, you're a tired Dawn. It's a Don Julio. It's
most
Dawn
of the time.
attired.
I'm just afraid not.
Afraid not.
Sorry.
You're funny. So incense. You can buy a lot of incense relatively inexpensively normally. With the odd shipping situation coming over from the Middle East, specifically, or some of the Eastern nations like India and China, Japan, that kind of thing. Incense is not as cheap as it was. And you want to be careful. Some of the sourcing for some of the incenses is not always ethical. Like your Palo Santo, for instance. You need to pay attention to where it is. But you can forage, or you can grow your own herbs to make your own incense. Got a cedar tree. I have cedar incense. I grew my own sage. I've got sage incense. I collected some pine pitch. I've got pine incense. Also some frankincense that I bought. But when you're doing a powder of some sort, you want to make sure you got the little charcoal briquette to burn it on, or if you're going to put it in your fire or whatever, your cauldron. But if you're offering it up like a ceremonial offering, you're going to want the little briquette and maybe a censer to put it in. That way the smoke is going where you want it to. And you can just sprinkle the loose herbs on top. You can buy the special spoon and tongs for that kind of thing if you really, really want to. It's up to you. And the charcoal discs, honestly, you can buy them in a lot of shops for, magical stuff, or the
Head shops.
Head shops. Yes. The briquettes that I use when I'm burning incense are the very, very same ones that you would use in a hookah. So, there's a lot of cross-purposing there. They don't have to be, special incense burning little briquettes. It could be hookah briquettes. The cost is different. So, whatever fits your budget better. Herbs or herb oil sprays, infusions. If you are growing your own herbs, not necessarily cannabis, you can make your own oils or sprays or infusions that you can use in your practice. I've used mint. I've used the sage. I've used cedar that I've collected. I mentioned that already. Walnut. I do have an infusion for walnut leaf that's really good for skin irritations, especially if you have like psoriasis. That's awesome. I don't sell it. I just do it because, yeah. There's all sorts of things out there that you can use to create your own kitchen witchery or herbology. There's all sorts of online classes for herbology. You don't have to actually go somewhere anymore. So just be aware. But do your research before you pick plants. You want to make sure you're not, smoking ragweed, for instance. It's not the right kind of weed. Justin says he grows rosemary, thyme, and lavender, and sage. Yep. Yeah, those are all easy to grow. You can grow them in a pot in your windowsill.
Yes, you can grow pot in your windowsill.
Yes, I know. I have a picture. So, so yeah, it's there's all sorts of things you can grow that you can use as incense or an infusion or a spray of some sort. Yeah, your besom, your magical broom, you can make your own. It's really not hard to make one from natural materials. It's not. Grass, twigs, depending on how fancy you want to be. You can also, I've seen them, it was a little more complicated. Oh gosh, it's a break already. We'll be right back. Wow, tonight's flying by.
shining moon, heaven, earth, and sea. I call upon you in this hour, bring magic unto me. Brothers, oh, the cauldron cries, it singeth unto me the songs of Mother Goddess and of Father in the tree.
Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we are off adventuring into the spaces between. A lot of spaces, apparently. Ooh. I need a timer or an alert to remind me to check to see if anybody's on the call board.
Oh.
Nobody's there, but...
So Sunday is Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going through Facebook, just kind of scrolling. And I see this old ad. It says, a gift mother will appreciate 365 days a year. See mother's eyes gleam at this labor-saving gift. She'll thank you every day of the year. The K&A is better because it won't scratch, won't tip over, won't leave heat marks. And it's built to last a lifetime. Add years to mother's life. Give her the world's best mop bucket. The K&A mop bucket. A 5-year guarantee.
Mop bucket.
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
Okay. It's either Indonesia or in the Philippines. They raise the prices on a lot of household appliances just because of Mother's Day, because they want you to get your mother something with meaning rather than household appliances.
Oh, okay.
Justin apparently knows my music. That means it's time to change it up, huh? Oh, goodness. Yeah, I don't know that I would be very excited to get a mop bucket for Mother's Day. I've had some interesting things, but, yeah, mop bucket would, no. I might need it afterwards.
Thank God for the 20 acres and back and my faithful shovel. It'll never, ever talk.
Right? That's all right. It's buried out by Terralingua.
Terralingua. Still got the shovel to prove it.
That's probably one of my favorite scenes in that movie.
That was a great movie.
Yes.
Anyhow, sorry.
All right. So next to my list, we were talking to the Besom, the magic room. So, if you want to make your own, do it. You can buy stuff to make it. You can collect your own stick to do it. It's probably affixed to the wall.
It is affixed to the wall.
Yeah, the other one's not, but that one is.
I don't care.
The other one's not as cool.
You think so?
I
think it's better.
The green one is better?
Yeah.
That was a stage piece. That one's got a broom. Yep. So yeah.
It's not a firebolt, but whatever.
No, it's a dollar store broom.
But it's made with love.
Mm-hmm. See, so there you go. That's something I bought, and I kind of turned it into my own thing. So.
It definitely doesn't look the same.
Yeah, nope, it does not look like it's from the dollar store. I just really wanted a straight stick, and it was $1. I did look into the price of a dowel. If you go to Home Depot or whatever to get a dowel.
A dowel is more than $1.
Yeah, it is. And that's ridiculous. So, that's the stage piece. So yeah, whatever it is you're going to do to make your own besom, do it. It's fun. It's interesting. You're going to make a mess. So put down a drop cloth to pick up the debris, or do it outside so you don't make a mess in the house. Yeah, it's just kind of an interesting thing as a practice. There are videos on how to do it, by the way. YouTube's your friend. Or Pinterest.
You can do it this way. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh dear.
I told you, my life is one big musical that's stuck in my head.
So Dawn is now performing Cats. Okay. Next on my list, runes. Yeah, you can make runes, rune tiles, rune rocks. You can draw them, you can carve them, you can paint them. You can make them out of clay. You can slice up a dowel and draw on them. You can get rocks. You can go to the dollar store and get a bag of rocks and one of their little metallic Sharpie markers and draw runes on the rocks and give it a quick seal coat or cover it with some Elmer's glue. And wow, you've got a whole set of runes all on your own. And you've made them yourself. And it's nothing really fancy. It's nothing really wild and crazy. But it's something that is yours. And sometimes that's really what we need. So here is brick dust is the next one. So
Brick dust?
Mhm. Yeah, it's really good for protection. Like that.
Like if you got to, if somebody's bothering you, you throw a brick at them?
Yeah, you could do that too. But no, like you have red brick dust, the dust. Just like salt.
I build thee a wall.
Basically, yeah. Same with cascaria. So cascaria is
Dust.
his dust from eggshells.
God dang it. Okay, fine.
What?
Giveaway secrets. Anyhow.
It's everywhere online.
Well.
If you can say, Alexa, do you work for the FBI? You can get the tricks on how to make your own cascaria powder. But not everybody can. The cascaria powder that I use is from my eggs, so I know where the eggs came from. Processed them by hand. Actually,
magically delicious.
Yeah, basically. If you have a thing, you can do it yourself. Absolutely do it. Just ethically, make sure you're getting your stuff sourced appropriately. Like Palo Santo, if it's not ethically sourced, it's actually destroying the trees rather than, treating them right. But black salt, same thing. You can make your own black salt. There's a process to it, but it's definitely something you can make yourself. If you are into making your own crafts and stuff and your own tools, you're going to want some place to store them. So something on my wish list that it's a big thing on my wish list that I'll probably never get because it is a big thing.
Underwater basket weaving lessons?
No, an apothecary chest.
Oh.
I would love to have an apothecary chest to put everything in.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not very practical. Instead, I have a bunch of organizers from Harbor Freight and Home Depot and the dollar store. Why? Because I'm trying really, really hard to be more organized in my life. It's a goal. It's a journey. But yeah. One advantage here is a lot of the things that you use or you can use to make your magical gear or your tools, if you live even in suburbia or rurally or have access to any of those types of places, you can go outside and find them. Or you can go to the craft store and find them. If you're looking for stuff, sometimes you can go to a floral shop and they're like, hey, well, these things died. So sure, if you really want them, you'll just want to cleanse the energy of them because why'd they die? But yeah, part of what we're doing as we're exploring the pagan path is trying to find what we can integrate into our life to help us along our path. Sometimes we're going to see things that are good signs and such. Why is Don got that look on his face?
Vintage Oriental Asian tabletop pyramid apothecary box. It's freaking gorgeous.
And how many thousands?
It's only a couple, $550. But it's not very big. It's tiny.
So it's an Asian-themed shoebox.
Well, it's six drawers.
Mm-hmm.
And they're stacked, so they're pyramid shaped. But anyhow, wow.
Yeah.
Dang, my eyes hurt.
Yeah, no. And, so when it comes to buying things, you need to make sure you're getting the best value for your money, honestly. Because there's a lot of things out there. I mean, if you go online, you can buy all sorts of things to use to create tools or create things for your craft, or you can buy the ready-mades. Do some shopping. Make sure you're getting a good value. The people that you're purchasing from can tell you, hey, I got this thing here, and it's not really a black market diamond. You know, that be aware of where you're getting your stuff from, and that it's been ethically sourced. And it's and when I say ethically a lot, because not only is it harvested correctly, but it's not infringing upon somebody else's rights to take it. For instance, if you wanted to buy graveyard dirt, which I know people out there will buy graveyard dirt,
Ethically sourced from Charles Manson's grave.
yeah, what grave did it, was it Fido's grave, or was it Charles Manson? I mean, there's a big difference between Fido and Charles Manson. Or yeah. When they collected the dirt, did they leave an appropriate offering? That kind of a thing. Were they trespassing? Did they break the law? Did they put the body there?
Saw a meme today. It was a 3-frame meme. It said, what if Bob Ross was a serial killer and all of his pictures were where he buried the bodies? They would be called happy little accidents.
Happy little accidents.
Oh my goodness, I laughed.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, be aware where the stuff came from. Yeah, that's all. Just cautious. And yeah, the natural and homemade tools are generally going to be a little bit more powerful because they're infused with your magic, your energy. Often, if you're finding stuff that's growing around your home, or grow in nature or in your garden, the cost for them are going to be significantly different than if you go buy them. Because if it's in the garden and you're growing it for a different purpose, that you can double purpose it, like rosemary. Did you grow that so you can use it in your cooking, or did you grow it for your practice, or did you use both? So yeah. WCA.
Water soluble calcium.
Oh. With eggshells. Okay. Water soluble calcium. Yeah. Eggshells are actually really, really good for your garden. If you are foraging for your own or making your own magical tools, you know that people elsewhere are not being exploited. Nobody trespassed to get the sage. Or, whatever. Sweetgrass. Sweetgrass is another one. Was it sourced correctly? Or was it just mass-produced? Or was it... You don't really want a tool that was stolen from somewhere. But that's why, if you do go, say, like a thrift shop or a yard sale or an auction and you get the stuff, before you use it or you integrate it into any of your tools, you cleanse it. Sometimes with good old-fashioned soap and water because, ew, you don't know where that's been. And sometimes energetically. And it just needs to sit in some salt because it needs to be, just cleansed. Sometimes you just need to do the thing that's going to help you along your path the best. That's why I generally buy just binder or regular notebooks when school starts because they're on sale for really cheap. And I use them to do journal things all over the place. I often have one in various locations within throwing distance. And from there, that's when they get, does it something that needs to go in my book of shadows? Is it something that needs to stay in the journal? What's it need to do? Where does it need to go? Because I have a memory kind of like a colander. There's a lot of holes, and if I don't write it down, it doesn't stick in my head. I will message the occasional friend. It's like, hey, I'm sending you this link. I don't care if you look at it or not. I don't want to forget. That's why it's there. I will forget to delete my voicemails sometimes because, well, I want to remember to call that person and they left me a voicemail, so it's still there clogging up my inbox. Same with emails. So, whatever system it is that helps you, do it. If you want to buy a bunch of regular college-ruled notebooks to use for journals, but you wanted to personalize it a little bit, well, if you can doodle, you can personalize it. Or you can collage the front of it. Whatever works to make it your own and fit whatever theme you need it to fit. If you're wanting to do a dream book, well, what do dreams mean to you? To write down your dreams or someplace to write them. That's what you should put on the cover of your book, your notebook. If, it's for spell jars or whatever, or spells in general and rituals, well, you can spells and rituals, block print, that you can go to the dollar store and get all sorts of little templates, stencils to create whatever, or stickers. Oh my stars. Mini-Me has a little tiny thing for stickers. They're everywhere. And you can get stickers for just about everything. So why not? Channel your inner Elsa and get Elsa with a wand, and they're throwing magic or something, and you can have it. Hey, this is my Book of Shadows, or not my Book of Shadows. This is my Shadow Work book. I'm channeling my inner Elsa. I'm letting it go, so you got Elsa on the front of it. Whatever it is that's going to help you focus your intention and your energies towards whatever that tool is going to achieve. I have been working on a wand for a while. I need to do some stuff to it, but I tipped it with a piece of petrified wood because the ancient energy of petrified wood I felt was important to be part of it, and it's just a way for me to channel that energy. I have my little selenite wand in the box. It's for cleansing things and directing that cleansing energy. That's all it's for. Do I feel the need to personalize it and make it spiffy? Nope. Could I? Sure. I could put a leather thong around it to as a handle to make it a little more grippy, less breaky. Because selenite is a little bit fragile. I don't recommend dropping it on a carpet. It might break. The other day when we were doing spell jars, though, so frustrating thing. I had some tiger's eye. I needed to go in spell jars. It was too big to go in the jar, which is fine. So I figured I'd just beat it with a hammer and break it in little pieces, right? Because, heaven forbid, I've dropped enough tiger's eye and it's split down the middle or chipped off a piece. I about poked out my eye with one of those dang rocks when I hit it with a hammer because it went bloop. Did it break? No. Did it chip? No. Did it crack? Nope. Nothing other than it bounced off my noggin. So, yeah. It's a good thing I wear glasses to protect myself, but yeah, it's just...
That's not why you wear glasses, but okay.
I wear glasses because I'm blind, folks. My bifocals are, yeah. Not blind, but...
No, a song just ran right through my head again.
Squirrel! Did your squirrel go berserk?
Yes.
In the church?
I'll give you a hint.
Hmm.
It was a Run DMC song.
That doesn't help.
Not you.
Yeah, no. Okay. Music is also a tool. If you can make your own music, do it. Even if it's just banging on your own drum. Your singing bowl. I would love to make a bodhran, or have one. I have yet to find a reliable source of leather that I could make into a drum. And I've seen the kits online, and no, I'm not going to buy a kit, and I'm not quite ready to invest that kind of money into a little handheld drum.
You can get one for like $65.
Okay. I don't have that many 65 buckses.
Okay. All right. Let me do some shopping.
Are you getting a kit?
Just do your show.
I'm doing my show. I've got 5 minutes left. So, Dawn, 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Any last minute thoughts?
Don't beat your tiger's eye with a hammer.
No, I want a rock crusher press, and
Wow. You just went from not wanting to spend $65 on a Bodrum to wanting to spend $100 or so more.
You don't have to spend a lot. All you need is a bottle jack.
That's true.
And yeah, Justin, you're funny. So with your tools, if you're creating them, make them with an open heart. And you're wanting to learn more about your path. You're trying to be respectful of yourself, the environment, other cultures, the origination of your tradition, and a belief that the elements of your craft and the things you're creating are sacred. And sometimes you do have to use your imagination to create the things. Sometimes whatever you create will match your imagination, sometimes it won't. Just do the best you can because it's coming from your heart. Remember, you don't need the expensive, fancy, magical tools. You don't need the fancy, magical, witchy clothes unless you want them. There's all sorts of experts out there that are going to tell you what you have to do, but you know what? They're not necessarily the experts of what you need. Don't give in to bigotry or hatred, and don't turn your back on things that you value. Just because you're embarking on a new adventure on your pagan path doesn't mean you're turning your back on your values and those that you love. If you want to join a class, join a class. You want to join a coven, join a coven. You don't have to. You don't have to use a specific deity unless you feel drawn to one. Really, truly. Avoid, when it comes to making tools and stuff, people who tell you you have to have something to accomplish the thing, because you don't. Historically, people have not always had the exact spiffy tool to do the thing. Sometimes, all you want is just, you gotta point your energy. Could be your finger. Could be your shoe, too, depending on how hard you want to throw it.
Make sure you point your toe before you kick them.
Mm-hmm. Don't feel pressured to make something or buy something for your practice and your path that you don't need. You don't need all the fanciness. Just listen to your gut, listen to your heart, listen to the world around you. Do you really need it or do you not need it? Some things are an investment, then some things are an expense. Learn the difference. And be prepared. If you're going to make the tool, learn the history about it. Use it as an opportunity to learn more about your path and what you're trying to accomplish, and what you're all about. So
natural buffalo and goat hide frame hoop bodrum.
Yeah, bodrums are cool.
That thing's awesome.
Yeah, they are pretty awesome. So on that note, if you're wildcrafting, pick up what calls to you. Carry something with you, a bag of some sort to put it all in. Make sure you're not, if you're picking herbs or flowers out in the wild, don't take everything. Because, there's...
Leave some for someone else.
Yeah, leave some for someone else or the animals. Sometimes they need it too. And, yeah. You don't have to buy the fancy stuff. Remember, a cup is a cup is a cup. If your coffee cup is a chalice, your coffee cup is a chalice. It works. So, that's all for tonight. Tomorrow night we'll be back 9:00 p.m. Pacific time. But until then, hope you guys have a good day. Merry meet and merry part and merry meet again. And I hope you all have a fantastic evening and a happy Saturday, Sunday, or whatever day and why.
And happy Mother's Day if you fall into that category.
Yes. Yes. All right, and the button.
I'm draw.